Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lighten Up with Bo. Lighten up. Well, if you haven't heard anything like that today, don't forget to take a deep breath and remember that we're all just images in our soul dreaming this crazy dream. This isn't who you are. You're really the soul dreaming this whole nonsense. And just take a breath and remember it's nothing that serious going on. Everything is really a figment of insanity in your mind. Doesn't that make you feel much better? You're like, no, that doesn't, man. I need some real solutions to these very real problems. I know that part of the mind. It's like, no, man, don't tell me it's all an illusion. Don't tell me it's all a dream. Don't tell me that this Course in Miracles path is going to help me awaken to my limitless soul and I'll dance in perfect peace and freedom. No, don't take away my misery. Wait a minute, these problems are very real. Look, the Course in Miracles, to me, is really an easy path to detaching from all the things that I hold on to is very real and that I'm very right about, so that I can find true freedom from this. There's no finding freedom out there, it's finding freedom from this. The Course in Miracles is about freeing our mind, freeing our perception. So we're on the lessons and we're at lesson 6 now. So I hope you've been enjoying the other videos, but we're going to get right into, oh, look at that. I flipped right to lesson 6. So if you remember last week, or maybe you're doing these in a row, but yesterday was, I am never upset for the reason I think. Lesson 6 is pretty easy, so we won't spend a lot of time here. I think the spiritualized ego loves to try to make a lot of understanding and meaning when something is really quite simple. So, lesson 6, remember the practice is your own. Hopefully you're doing these lessons where you're setting aside some time in the morning and the evening throughout the day. And it's not about perfectionism, it's more about vigilance and willingness. Vigilance for reality over illusion. Lesson 6, I am upset because I see something that is not there. I am upset because I see something that is not there. The exercises with this idea are very similar to the preceding ones. Again, it is necessary to name both the form of the upset, angry, frightened, hurt, worried, and so on, and the perceived source very specifically for each application of the idea. For example, and I'm reading from the Course right now in case you didn't know, but this is the example it gives. I am angry at blank because I see something that is not there. So that's the practice. I am worried about blank because I see something that is not there. Today's idea is useful for application to anything that seems to upset you, and can profitably be used throughout the day for that purpose. However, the 3 or 4 practice periods which are required should be preceded by a minute or so of mind searching, just like lesson 5. It says, just like as before. And the application of the idea to each upsetting thought uncovered in the search. So again, what it's saying is just sit quietly, eyes closed, eyes open, and just see what passes before your mind for about a minute. You'll be surprised at how you can remember most of the things that you think about. Maybe you just get lost in one thing that you're really worried about. Then that's enough. Start simple. Start kindly within yourself. If it's, I'm worried about the relationship with my father. I'm worried about the relationship with my father because I see something that is not there. And that's it, right? Maybe you think about 5 different things, something you're angry about, something you're frustrated. You just remember it. And then you go back and go, okay, I'm angry about blank, and you repeat them. I'm angry about the IRS because I see something that's not there. I'm worried about my health because I see something that is not there. Paragraph 3, again, if you resist applying the idea to some upsetting thoughts more than the others, just remind yourself of the 2 cautions stated in the previous lesson, in lesson 5. So meaning if you notice there's a resistance to applying these to some things more than the others, like you want to apply it to really, really heavy things, but these little mild irritations that crossed your mind or frustrations or where you go, oh, no, I need to go right to the big ones. Remember, the Course in Miracles is about neutralizing how the ego mind categorizes things as greater than or less than. Again, it says all things are equally useful. So it says, there are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. And then another reminder, I cannot keep this form of upset and let others go. For the purposes of these exercises, then, I will regard them all as the same. So a couple things just to go over with this lesson, very simple. You might be asking right now, what do you mean I see something that is not there? The Course in Miracles is very gentle, and what I promise you is that as you continue to go through the lessons, what's amazing is the questions that come up, say, in a previous lesson, they will be answered. Especially if you're also reading the text along with the lessons, or maybe you've even read quite a few chapters, because it will get into what it means by that I see something that is not there. It's the same thing as watching a movie on a screen and calling it reality. Nothing that's happening on the screen is reality. It is a figment of the imagination. It is a whimsical creation projected onto a screen. So ultimately, the real upset, the ego will convince us that all these things that we're angry about, that we're worried about, that we're sad about, that these things, these people, these places, these outside things, that they are really the thing that are disturbing our peace. And the Course in Miracles is just gently starting to move you towards what's really upsetting you is that you've placed your faith and your love and your being in illusions. And you don't have to worry about how the grace of spirit or miracles dissolves those back into the nothingness from which they came. It's just a subtle willingness to step toward that direction and practice the lesson. So you might watch your mind disagree, argue, wait, I have questions. The ego can't really understand. We just practice and move on and and celebrate our willingness to practice. So, lesson 6, I am upset because I see something, someone, someplace that is not there. If you have any questions, you can go to the Lighten Up Movement website where I currently operate out of. You can sign up and subscribe here. That'd be fun. If you want to be kept in the loop for future videos, feel free to comment or ask a question in the comments. Or even if you have a video idea like, hey, I need to lighten up about this. Can you do a Course in Miracles video on this topic? I can promise you every topic you can think of will probably be covered eventually. But most importantly, guys, don't remember. Don't forget, or do remember. Do remember that you're a limitless, playful soul, just desiring to be in its natural expression through this little vehicle that we inhabit for a while called a body. But you are not this body. More will be revealed on that later. Stay light, stay peaceful, climb a tree, swing on a swing, go play, be in the fearless expression of your heart. And I'll see you on the next lesson or the next chapter that I break down. Stay well.